My boyfriend made me a single mother and married another woman. My name is Amaka, and this is my story. I grew up in Enugu, a small city in Nigeria, with big dreams of becoming a lawyer. I had always been focused on my studies, avoiding distractions, until I met Chinedu in my second year at the university. Chinedu was charming, handsome, and everything a girl could want in a boyfriend. He was 2 years older than me and already working in a big company. He had a smooth way of talking and knew how to make me feel special. It didn't take long before I fell deeply in love with him. He promised me the world, and I believed him. At first, everything was perfect. Chinedu was supportive, attentive, and always there for me. We would spend weekends together, going out to eat and watching movies. He even met my parents, and they approved of him. He made me feel like I was the luckiest girl in the world. I trusted him completely. Things started to change in my final year of university. I found out I was pregnant. I was scared, confused, and unsure of how to tell Chinedu. When I finally gathered the courage to tell him, I was expecting support. After all, we had talked about marriage before, and he had told me several times that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. But the moment I told him about the pregnancy, everything changed. His expression hardened, and he looked at me as if I was a stranger. "You need to get rid of it," he said coldly. I was shocked. This wasn't the Chinedu I knew. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I tried to reason with him, explaining that I couldn't go through with an abortion. I thought he would come around, but instead, he became distant. He started avoiding my calls, and when I finally confronted him in person, he told me that he wasn't ready to be a father and that we should take a break. My heart shattered. How could someone who claimed to love me abandon me like this? Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, Ada. But Chinedu was nowhere to be found. He didn't come to see the baby, didn't offer any support, and refused to acknowledge that she was his daughter. It felt like my world was crashing down around me, but I had to stay strong for my little girl. Raising Ada as a single mother was tough. I had to put my dreams of becoming a lawyer on hold, as I couldn't juggle law school and motherhood. My parents helped as much as they could, but the emotional toll was heavy. Everywhere I went, I could feel the judgment from people. Being a single mother in Nigeria is not easy. People whisper, they stare, and they blame the woman. Then, one day, I found out through mutual friends that Chinedu had gotten married to another woman, Ngozi. I couldn't believe it. He had moved on with his life as if I never existed, as if Ada wasn't his child. It felt like a slap in the face. But as the years passed, I focused on building a life for myself and Ada. I worked odd jobs and saved up enough to start a small business selling clothes. Slowly, I began to find my footing. Ada grew into a bright, beautiful girl who filled my life with joy. I realized that I didn't need Chinedu or any man to validate my worth. Then, one evening, something unexpected happened. I received a message from Chinedu. He wanted to talk. My first instinct was to ignore him, but curiosity got the better of me. We agreed to meet at a small cafe in town. When I saw him, he looked different. The confident, charming man I had once loved was gone. He looked tired and worn out. After some awkward small talk, he finally confessed. His marriage with Ngozi was falling apart. They had been trying to have children for years, but nothing had worked. They had gone to different hospitals, herbalists, and pastors, but still, Ngozi couldn't conceive. He admitted that his life had become miserable, and he had started questioning all the decisions he had made. I was wrong. Amaka, he said, his voice shaking. I should have stayed. I should have been there for you and Ada. Now, I'm paying the price for my actions. I sat there in silence, letting his words sink in. Part of me felt sorry for him, but another part of me felt vindicated. He was finally facing the consequences of his selfishness. Karma had come full cycle. But as much as he regretted his actions, I couldn't forget the pain he had caused me. I told him that while I had forgiven him, I had moved on. My priority was Ada and ensuring she had the best life possible. He asked to be part of Ada's life, but I told him that decision was up to her. If she ever wanted to meet him, I wouldn't stand in the way, but I wouldn't force her either. As I walked away from that cafe, I felt a sense of closure. Chinedu had broken my heart and left me to raise our daughter alone, but in the end, I found strength in myself. I had learned to be independent, and Ada was the greatest blessing in my life. While Chinedu faced the consequences of his choices, I had built a life I could be proud of. And so, even though Chinedu may never fully realize what he lost, I am at peace, knowing that I did my best for my daughter and myself. Life may not have turned out the way I planned, but I've come to understand that sometimes, the things we think will break us only make us stronger. And that, my friend, is the end of today's unforgettable story. If it moved you, made you think, or left you speechless, then you're exactly where you belong. Every week, we bring you raw, real, and riveting stories, betrayal, survival, secrets, heartbreak, redemption, and everything in between. So if you crave true life drama, mind-blowing plot twists, and stories that stick with you, don't just watch, join the family. Tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and be the first to catch the next jaw-dropping tale. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. Share your theories, your feelings, or just let me know you were here. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and never stop seeking the story behind the story. This is Platinum Stories, signing off.